This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, everybody loves going to the circus, right? You get all the cool food to eat, you get the animals, the attractions, the crazy stunts. Well, today we're talking about the circus, but not necessarily the one you're used to. We're talking about the Flea Circus, a game called Circus Flohcati. This is from Grail Games. It's a Reiner Knizia game that was made a while back. It takes about 15 minutes to play. It's 2 to 5 players. It's sort of a press your luck and set collection card game. Let me show you how it's played. I'll see you on the other side. In this game, you're going to be pressing your luck and trying to collect sets. If there's no cards out there on your turn, you're going to flip a card up here. Now, this card is a suit. It's called Acrobats. Think of it as a suit. There's 10 different suits in this game, or 10 different colors, and the numbers range from 0 to 7. Now, these are supposed to be fleas, but it's sort of like a realistic artwork there. Now, I have a couple choices here. I can just stop and take any of the cards that are out here, in this case just this one, or I can press my luck and I can go again. Well, here we have the Tamer. That's 3. Well, maybe I want to continue going. So what I can do is I can take another card and go here. Ooh, a clown. And maybe I'll press my luck one more time. Ooh, look at this right here. Now, at this point, again, I might want to stop and just take one of these cards, because if on my turn I pull up a card that is the same suit as anything else, this card gets discarded and my turn is over for this round. Then it'll be the next player's. Now, once the next player's turn, he can decide, instead of putting out any cards, to just take a card. So maybe he'll just take this one and put it in his hand, and that's his turn. And then me, it's my turn again. Maybe I'm a little bit greedy again, and I go like this, and I go, well, you know what? I'm just gonna take this. These would sort of slide down. That's the next player's turn, and so on and so forth. And you're collecting these different cards of different suits. Now, let's say in my turn I drew a card, and once I drew it, you can actually play cards to your tableau in front of you. And let's say I have 3 5s. You can put any trio of cards, 3 of them, that have the same value. Now, obviously, you know, these are different suits, and that's fine. This is just going to be 10 bonus points at the end of my game. And let's say I had drawn this card and played it with these ones at the end of my turn. You can create as many trios as you want. Now, this continues until any one player has at least one of every of the 10 suits in his hand at the end of his turn, and he can throw down what's called a gala. This will end the game. So I have at least one of everything. I throw him down, and everybody else gets to tally one of each of the suits that's in their hand and use the highest number. So in this case, I have 2 magicians. I'll use the highest number. No matter what the lowest number is, this doesn't count. Now, when I throw the gala down, I'm getting 10 bonus points, plus I'm getting the highest number of each of the 10 suits as my points, plus I'm going to get 10 points for all the trios I'd laid down earlier. All the other players that did not throw down the gala, basically they may have some cards in their hands. They're going to do the same thing, the highest value of each suit, plus any trios that they have, and whoever has the most at the end is the winner. Now, in addition to the normal cards, there's 3 different types of action cards that can come up. When an action card comes up, you basically do the action and then your turn's over. Like, this is the Mind Reader. You can request 1 attraction, which are basically these types of cards, from an opponent. You basically say, hey, for you, I want a card. The opponent gets to choose a card and they give it to him. This one is the Magic Eye. Draw 1 attraction. So you get to randomly take a card from an opponent's hand. And the last one is the Great Parade. You keep revealing cards off here until there's a duplicate. You discard the duplicate like normal, and then you can take any one card. And those are the action cards. But again, you're just trying to score as many points as you can by the end of the game. Hey, usually anything that Reiner Knizia does, I always pretty much want to play, just because of how many great games this guy has designed. Now, this was an older one. I wasn't really sure of that until after I got the game and looked it up. And of course, yes, this is sort of a reprint of an older game. Now, it's a simple card game. As you can see, you're just pressing your luck, trying to get cards, maybe throwing down some trios. And there's some interesting decision making of trying to figure out, when do I want to throw down those trios for 10 points versus using cards, versus trying to end the game with the big set of the gala. Now, overall, it was okay for me. A couple years ago, just a year ago, or just a little bit more than a year ago, a game came out called Dead Man's Draw, which I think was probably inspired by this game. Similar thing of where you're flipping over cards. If the same suit comes up, almost the same amount of suits, you bust. It's a press your luck, and each of those suits had a special ability. In this game, there's 3 like special action cards, which are like, okay. Where in Dead Man's Draw, it's like every suit that you bring up has a special action, and you get to do that suit if you didn't bust. And that game kind of took what this was trying to do, I think, and made it a lot more interesting. Same type of scoring, where at the end, only the highest value of the card that you have scores. So in my opinion, I don't know why this game got reprinted, because I feel like Dead Man's Draw pretty much used this, was inspired by this, and built upon it to something that is far superior for that quick press your luck game with some interesting scoring things to do there. So unfortunately, the game was okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. The artwork sort of turns people off, that little realistic flea looking thing. Some people had problems with it. I didn't mind it. I thought it was cool. But some people didn't like that. But overall, I don't see the reason that this needed to be reprinted, because it's sort of been replaced by Dead Man's Draw. This is the new version of it, Dead Man's Draw, a little quick game. So anyway, okay, I would just rather play Dead Man's Draw and have you guys check that out too, because this one was like, it felt aged compared to that. So I couldn't recommend this in today's world to go out and buy this when there's something like Dead Man's Draw that did it even better, and that is Circus Flohcati.
This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter and making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.